Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Moxi Presents class for this afternoon. As you all know, Moxi Presents is our slightly newer CMA system, and it also has the buyer tour, and I have taught both of those classes before. So today I actually want to show you some of the other materials that are available in Moxi Presents, because there are different types of presentations that you can do in addition to the buyer's tour and the CMA. So I'm going to start sharing my screen now. Okay. So, as always, when we are trying to get into the Moxi Presents system, you're going to start out in your ACE dashboard, and the CMA is under your Promotions tab, which is this pink tab right here. Okay, and you will see it down here on the second row, the first option, Moxi Present. Okay, so once you're in, you're actually going to be loaded on your dashboard, which consists of all of your presentations you've already created. But in order to start a new one, we're going to come to the upper right corner here where it in blue says Create New. All right, so as you can see, there's going to be some familiar things here, okay? So there's the buyer presentation, and this is different from the buyer tour. The buyer presentation is if you are going to be meeting with a buyer or a prospective buyer, and you want to be able to have some materials prepared with you. So let's start out taking a look at this one. Okay, as you will see, there are several options here. There's the default buyer, and if you click to the right where it says pages, it will tell you how many pages and what they are. So the default buyer has 13 pages, which is a cover page, property summary, listing location map, listing overview, side-by-side comparison, status comparison, listing averages, price and days on market, price and size, estimate comparison, pricing analysis, purchase costs, and agent profile. So what this is basically another version of a CMA that you can do for your buyer if they are interested in purchasing a particular property and you both want to be better informed about whether that listing price is accurate and if they will be able to offer less, if they should be offering more. We all know this market is crazy right now, so taking 5 minutes to do a CMA on a property that your buyer is interested in may serve you well, so you're making sure that they're not overreaching and offering too much for it. So that's what that one is. Second one down is the company buyer presentation. So if we click here, and again to the right, click pages. Okay, so this one has 33 pages, and this is more of a buyer presentation if you're meeting with a prospective buyer and you want to be able to inform them about what you do as a buyer's agent, what the company will do for them. So you'll see there's a lot more pages in here about the company in general. There's information on Trident, right? So that will cover both mortgage and title. There's also the same pages for listing overviews and listing location map and averages and price and days on market. So if they've already picked a property or two that they're interested in, you can still include those pages. However, there's an easy way to remove pages. So if this is just an initial presentation, then you can take those out and focus more on what you as the agent will be doing, what Trident and mortgage and title can do for them, how to find a home, how to look at homes, protecting their interests, what would consist of a short sale offer versus submitting a regular offer. Also, your agent profile is in all of these, okay? So this is more, again, if you're meeting with a potential client or a first-time home buyer and you want to be able to supply them with some materials so that they can understand what the process will be and why you're the best agent to help them. Okay, there's also in here, and I'm going to get more into these later, but there's a luxury collection marketing and a marketing proposal. These are can be used for buyers, but they're actually a little bit more geared towards sellers. So for now, I just wanted you to be aware that in addition to the buyer's tour, there is the default buyer, which again is a version of a CMA for a property they're interested in. And then there's the company buyer presentation, which is meeting with a potential buyer or a first-time home buyer. Okay, so I'm going to close out of this. And I'm again going to go to create new. So that was under buyer. The next one down is seller, which you should all be familiar with. That is the classic CMA. Below that is buyer tour, which you should also be familiar with. This is when you're taking a buyer out on showings and you want to be able to provide them with a link that they can use on their mobile device that shows all the properties, a map of all the properties that you'll be seeing that day. They can pull up any property, take notes, rate them, all that good stuff. So the last one down here is the other one I'm going to show you today, and these are the non-listing presentations. So let's check this off. Continue in the bottom right. And here you'll see the ones that we just saw under buyer as well. Okay, so there's a default non-listing, and again, click pages, it will tell you what's there. So this is really a blank template. All it has is the cover page and your agent profile. So this can be used to create any sort of marketing piece that you want to be able to send out via email with a live web link so that they can open it as many times as they want. Lots of agents I've heard use this to create their own messages, like, you know, a happy birthday message or a video check-in that you send to a client where you record a short video, you know, kind of catching up with them, let them know what you're up to, hope that they're well, those kinds of things. So this really can be used to build any sort of marketing or touch base or really anything you can think of at all. And I'm going to show you this one quickly because I want you guys to know how you can add pages to this. So we're going to check this one off and hit continue. It's going to ask you who you are preparing it for. So you want to put a name on it. And then bottom right, create. Okay, so what this is showing you here is what this presentation is going to look like. If you see right here in the upper right, it is currently showing you the web view, which means this is what it will look like if you use the link to send them and they open it. You can switch between web view and print view. So if this is something you're going to be printing, you can switch that view on this menu here. Over on the left-hand menu, it's showing you the current pages that are included. So right now we're on the cover page, and then this is what it looks like here on the right. It'll just have the name, the date, your photo, and the information about you. And if you want to see the next page, again, over here on the left, you click on agent profile to then view the next page. So this is all of your contact information. And if any of this is incorrect or you want to change it, you would do that in your ACE dashboard profile because this pulls directly from that. So since this only has a cover page and a profile page, you probably want to be able to add something else to this. So to do that, we go directly above here on the left where it says add page. Now you have two options. You can add from the library, and in the library are all of the company provided marketing materials. There are company videos in here. There's tons of options that you can go through, or you can choose to create new. Let's take a quick look at this. So your options for creating a new page are either to build a page from scratch, and you can, create your own content. You can put in images, videos, text boxes, pretty much anything that you can imagine as if it were an email or a Word document. You can insert lots of different things here, so you can build your own page, or you can upload a PDF. So if you already have something created that you want to be able to insert into this presentation or any other presentation, it would work the same way, and you have a copy saved to your computer, you can choose to upload a PDF. So some examples of that would be the materials that Pam sends out about mortgage rates. You might want to include that in your buyer presentation, and obviously those change over time, so you would want to upload the most recent one. You could upload your marketing, what is it called? Like marketing plan of action, that's what it's called, like we used to have in Toolkit CMA. If you have personally written up what your own marketing plan would look like, you could include something like that, anything you can think of. So if we hit upload PDF, you simply hit choose file, and down here under sharing options, so you understand what that is, this is if you have a team Moxi account with multiple people on your team. You can create a basic version of a presentation. If you click enable page editing, that will allow the other members to edit their own version. It won't get rid of the original, right? The original version is never editable by other users, but it will allow them to essentially copy this entire presentation and then edit the pages to their liking. So that's what this is. Choose file. Okay, and then it just takes you to your computer. So you can search for anything that you're looking for. You can pick whatever you want. Let's say I want to add, the HSA booklet. I would choose that. Upload. May take a little bit. Might be too big, but you get the idea. See if we have something smaller here. Let's see if I have my marketing. Here, I'm just going to pick this. It's an old one just to show you. Oh, that was a PDF, yes? There we go. Okay, it's just a little slow. Okay, here we go. So once you've added it in, it will show up here on the left-hand menu, and it will show you what it will look like. Okay, now I want to show you, instead of adding your own, how to add from library. Okay, so again, left hand is your menu by subject matter. So the first thing you land on are all the different types of report pages. So cover page, property summary, listing location map, listing overview, you get the idea. So these are all the different types of charts and graphs and reports that you can include. Under that says partner pages. Okay, so these are all from the buy side. So this is talking about buyers that you can bring to your listing presentation. And if you click here on the folder, it will open up the additional pages. You can click on any of these to see what it looks like. Okay, so if you don't want to include this page, there's a little X over here by the left, and it will take you back to the list. Under custom pages, once you have added some of your own, it not only will save it to that individual presentation, but it will save it here to your library. So I can go to my pages and see everything that I have added to other presentations are still saved here. So this is actually, these that say all the pages are the things that I pulled out of Toolkit that I advised all of you to do that you had written. So these are things like my resume, my client recommendations, and my marketing plan of action. The bottom of the list are the brokerage pages, and you can see there's 149 of those. So what you have here on the right are actually folders that you then have to open to get to the individual pages, and it breaks it down by subject. So there's 3 different cover page options if you don't like the look of the default one. There are 5 different types of pages. You can use About Me. There's 14 about the company, another 10 about the company, marketing, services, selling, my guarantee to you. Here are some videos, as I mentioned, all the information about Trident, marketing materials, etc., marketing proposal, and the luxury collection. So depending on what subject you're sending this presentation out about, you can come in here and pick one to show them. So I would say, let's take a look at About Me, see what's in here. Okay, so these are probably going to look familiar to you because these were included in Toolkit. Okay, so what I will do for you, that's what this looks like. And if we come back up to the top again, this little X gets you back to the list. About Me continued. Right, so the next steps. Your resume. So this is blank and you would have to fill it in first unless you have saved your one from Toolkit that's already filled in. Higher net price. Okay, so this explains what you do as an agent to get them the best price. And expectations. Again, this is from Toolkit. Why they should use a Fox and Roach agent. Okay, so those are just some quick examples of things you can add. Again, if I'm stuck on About Me and I want to go back to all the brokerage pages, I can either click here again or up here where it's in blue, and I'm back to that list of folders. And I can open up any one of these, like Trident. Okay, finding and buying a home, how to look at homes, promote your property, protect your interests, short sale offers, submitting an offer, transition to a new home, Trident Group benefits, and Trident Group services. So this is all a lot of excellent information that you would want to make sure is included in any buyer presentation that you're doing. Okay, so that is how you would add pages and find the ones you're looking for from the company list. So any of these that you want to add, you would come to the right, and it's pretty obvious, you just click the little add button. So I want to say, let's add submitting an offer and information here and protect your interests. Okay, so all of those pages have now been added to my presentation. So in order to get back to that, if I come up, come on, there we go. If I come up here, pages, okay, now I'm back in my presentation. And now I have 6 pages. So if you're just trying to scroll like this and you're like, why can't I see everything? It's because you have to click through each page individually here. So we can click submitting an offer, see what that looks like, make sure we want to keep that in. If for some reason you've added something that you don't want to include because it isn't what you thought, there's a little X right here so that you can remove it from this presentation. Trident Group benefits, protect your interests, okay? And then your profile is still there. So if you have created a presentation from scratch, which is kind of what we're on right now, is the blank one that just started out with the cover page and the agent profile. If you have created some sort of presentation that you want to be able to use again, you can come all the way to the bottom here and click Save as Template. And that way, that will become an option when you're first creating a new presentation, rather than just buyer, buyer tour, seller, and marketing. You'll have your template there as well. So instead of starting from scratch every time, if this is kind of a formula you want to use for additional marketing, I would suggest you save it as a template. Okay, so I'm actually going to go back out because that was the blank template. And what I want to show you is the marketing one, because you do not have to create that from scratch. Okay, so this was the, as you can see here, it's saving it. This was the class test non-listing. So the non-listing, you can create virtually anything. The buyer presentation is already basically created for you. As I showed you, right? That would be under buyer. And again, for that one, you can add any pages from the library that you choose to, or you can remove any pages that you do not want included and then save that as a template so that it's the same every time you use it. But I'm going to go back down here to non-listing. And instead of doing the default non-listing, which is the blank template, I want to show you these two. So there's a luxury collection marketing piece already created for you. So we click here. You can click pages. It will tell you how many. Okay, so there's 23 pages there. And let's take a look. Okay, so once again, you'll only be able to scroll through one page at a time using your scroll bar, but over here on the left are all of the different pages. So you would just click on each one of these to see what it looks like. And remember, you are currently in web view is the default, but at the top you can change that to print view if you want to see the difference. So next page, company introduction. Okay, and these will obviously look different because they're specifically for the luxury collection. They threw in a Warren Buffett quote for you. Information about our brand name. And look at where we are. Okay, pretty impressive. The share of the market that we have for luxury homes. The fact that we have a worldwide network. The benefits of using us in our luxury collection marketing. It's a little slow today. The different types of marketing that we will utilize, what they will get if they use this luxury collection, where the listing will get syndicated, how we use data-driven targeting for the marketing, right? Their custom property website. The full color brochure that will be created for them as part of the luxury materials. Property video. All right, this is taking a long time to load, so we'll go through this more quickly. Their showcase video, what we utilize on social media as far as advertisements. Direct mail, mobile apps that we use, print advertising. Ooh, private jet travel. There you go. That's new to me anyway. Signage, networking, how we do open houses, luxury marketing resources, and everything you need. Oh, it's slow. Okay, but you guys get the idea, right? So if there's any of these that you want to be able to remove, once again, you just hit the little X to the right of the page that you want to get rid of. And if there's anything that you want to add, you come up here to add page. So probably for most of these, I would always suggest adding some sort of personal pages. So your resume would obviously be helpful. Client recommendations would be helpful. So if you already have those, you would click add page, add from library, my pages, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, because those are my personal marketing material pages. Okay, and I'm going to go again up here where it says pages, will take you back to your presentation. Okay, so then I can come down here and see, right, there's our resume. Here are some customer references and our personal marketing plan of action. So those are some pages that you want to be able to add to almost any presentation that you're doing. And then once you've got it set how you want it, you would save as template. And that way, the next time you want to create one of these presentations, all the pages that you want in there or don't want in there are already created for you as a default option. Okay. So that is what the marketing luxury presentation looks like, I'm sorry. And we're all used to kind of using these pamphlets that we've had in the office, you know, in those cabinets in that hallway. There's a lot of great pamphlets in there that we typically use when we're putting together a listing presentation or a buyer presentation, but they're all in here in a more updated version as well. So if you don't want to have to hand your client a giant folder full of all of these pamphlets, you can come in here and create a marketing presentation for a listing. You can create a buyer presentation, and all of the same information that's in those pamphlets, you can make sure all of that is included in this online presentation that you can print out to hand them as one packet or send them the live web link so that they have access to it and it's not something that they have to carry around with them. They can open it up from the email as many times as they want. If you update it on your end in here, if you come back in and edit that presentation, that link is live. So the next time they click on that link to view it, they would see your newly edited version as opposed to the old version. So that's kind of the benefit of using this web view option right here. Okay. So let's go back out and look at the final version that's available. Okay, so I'm coming to create new. I'm still in non-listing. Continue. So we looked at the blank default. We looked at the company luxury. Now we're going to look at the marketing proposal. You can see this one has 17 pages. Let's continue. Type in a name, bottom right, create. Okay, so once again, you are in default web view. Your list of pages is over here on the left, and you can scroll up and down, but you won't be able to see the next page until you click on it. So this is just the cover page. There's an introduction, okay, everything you need to market and sell your property. Everything you need, again, more information about everything that we provide through the company. Information about our company in general. Our digital marketing. Their custom website. Showcase videos. Where the listings go, right? All the different places that they get syndicated. the targeted internet ads that they will get for free, more targeted marketing, social media ads, mobile apps, open houses, signage, lets them know we offer home warranties, gives them information about Curbio, and information about Trident services. Okay, so that is the default 17-page version of a marketing presentation that you could supply to a seller. And again, in addition, you probably want to make sure that you're including those personal pages about yourself with your individualized marketing plan of action. And once those have been added to any one of these, they'll stay in your library and you can reach them from the Add Page button. Okay, so at this point, let's say we've got this marketing presentation exactly how we want it. We have all the pages included that we want. Now what do we do? First thing you should note, I'm sure you've seen, is every time I close one of these out and go back to my home screen, you see it pop up as a saved version. So if you're coming through here and you're panicking because you don't see a save button anywhere, that is why. Once you have started creating a presentation, it will auto save for you no matter where you are, or if you leave, it will always be on your home page, saved for you there, and you can go back in and edit it at any time. So don't panic if you don't see a save button. Up here are the different options of what you're now going to do with this presentation. So obviously you can view it first as a whole. So here it's kind of hard to see because you just have to click on the individual pages. But if you click view, it will ask you, do you want to see what the print version will look like, or do you want to see what the web version would look like? So let's take a look at the web version. It's going to create the presentation. And then all you have to do is scroll down. Okay, so now you can scroll through page to page and see that this is what it will look like when your client is viewing it after you've sent it. Okay, so that's what the view option here does. You can send it right from here. Okay, and again, it's going to ask you, do you want to send a PDF version, or send presentation is the web view, the live link. So you can either send it to yourself and then forward it, or you can just put your client information right here, create a subject line, whatever greeting you want, and a personal little message. And then if you want to copy yourself on it, you can do that as well. So you would just fill this in, hit send in the lower right, and now they are receiving an email with a link to this presentation included. Okay, settings. This is pretty simple. There's not much to it. You really shouldn't need to mess with this. You can change the name. You want to leave it as your office unless you have multiple offices. If you do, like if you're a PA agent as well, you'll have a drop-down menu here where you can change which office based upon your ACE dashboard settings. And then you want to leave display header photos. You want to leave that on. So that is settings. More. Assign to agent. So again, this is if you are part of a team and you are the team leader who is creating this presentation, but you want to supply it to one of your team agents in order to use, you would click assign to agent. You can add a co-presenter. So if you're doing a marketing presentation, again, as part of a team or with another agent, you can add them so that their profile information will show up in this presentation as well. You can get help and feedback here, or you can delete the whole thing here. Okay? So that is everything. Hopefully that covers enough for you guys to understand all the different types of presentations that are already created for you, and that you can actually create your own presentation from scratch. Again, the benefit to this is that it's a live web link that you can provide in addition to printed materials, so that they always have access to it and can review it as many times as they want. If you go up in the upper left to your home screen, you will see that all of the ones that we just did, marketing, luxury, non-listing, just the test one, that's the blank one, they're all saved here for me automatically, okay? So if I wanna come back in and change one of these, that's what this little pencil looking thing is in the upper right. So I can click that and it will reopen the presentation in edit form. If you just click here on the presentation, it will show it to you, but you won't be able to change it. So if you want to make any changes, click the little pencil. This will tell you all of the information about when it was created and by who. And then this just gives you those additional options that we just looked at, which is you can view it, email it, change the settings. You can make a duplicate copy for someone else to use. You can delete it entirely. You can archive it if it's an old one. You can assign it to another agent or add a co-presenter. So you can do all of those things either from within the presentation, as I just showed you, or right from here on the home screen. Okay, so that's basically it for today. If you guys have any further questions, obviously you can always reach out to me for individual one-on-one help. And as always, before I sign off, I will show you where you can gain access to additional training materials for this. So I'm going to go back out to my ACE dashboard here. I would click on the Education tab here. I'm going to go to this first folder that says Training Library. And then I'm going to go to this first option here that says Help Documents and Videos. Okay, so this is a list of all of our company tools in alphabetical order. So you would just scroll down till you get to the M's. And here is Moxi Present. So they have, as always, you can look at help documents if you prefer to print something out and follow along, or you can watch a video. And all of these are broken down. So if we go into help documents, let's say, it's going to open up a Google Drive folder that all of you have access to. And then it will tell you what you are learning about specifically. So here's the new one, which is the marketing presentation that I just showed you guys. So this is the handout for this class, the classic listing presentation, how to search during a listing presentation creation, the buyer presentation, which is one of the other ones I just showed you today, the buyer tour, how to email it, how to create a quick flyer. You can see there's tons in here, okay? So whatever specific thing in Moxi that you're not sure how to do, that you wanna look up real quick, you can come in here. The other option are videos, which are also broken down. So these are all videos, most of which I believe are done by Chuck. So how to create a presentation, the buyer tour, how to email your presentation, save your presentation, dashboard tour, drive time, which is part of the buyer tour, how to search for listings, how to use the school search to find listings if they want to do it. And as you can see, there's down at the very bottom, it says next, which means there's actually another page. There's 4 pages. We're on 1 of 4. So there's plenty of videos in here for you guys to take a look at. Okay. All right. Well, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. And once again, reach out to me if you have any questions about Moxi Presents or anything else. I am always available for you. So I'm going to say goodbye and I'm going to stop my screen share. You all have a lovely afternoon.